Okay, a bit of a technical glitch there. Had to get that fixed. And I did not get my stream started properly, so we are getting right into this race. Again, we are here at Hockenhiem, short circuit, and we are round 3 of the RBHM Mazda MX-5 Cup. We're getting right into this, folks. And we are going to get rid of these awful graphics and get right into this. So here we are. Everybody getting through the first turn called Nord Curve there. And a little bit of argy-bargy going into turn 2. I see a couple, 3 cars off track. It's going to be hard to see who that was from up in the front here. We're going to stay up front because we got about 6 cars in this front group. And it's pretty exciting up here up front. So it looks like Wild up in second place, followed by ETR Dan and Tank and Schultz. And Tank getting a little bit sideways, but we got immediate action door to door with Wild and Dan fighting for position as they come through looks like turns 5 and 6. So now they are coming down into what's known as Sachs Curve, and they are looks like, oh, is that ETR Dan just got a little bit off circuit there, but already we're seeing a bit of a spread here in the field. So we know that there are 2 groups on the track. So the amateur group is up front, and the pro group is the second pack behind them. So they were going to be looking to make their way through the amateur field if they can catch them. So we are going to run on board with Bad Luck from his vantage point. So Bad Luck is followed, he's in 7th place. He's followed by, looks like Relic, and then Jello in 8th. I'm sorry, Jello in 9th. So this is going to, as you can see the blue banner there, that represents the amateur class. When you do see the red banner, you will know that's a pro driver. So we have a few left. Oh, Bad Luck taking the short way around as he looks through the grass there, but he probably didn't have the traction he's looking for. And I think next time he gets through that sector, he might think of maybe a different line through there. But yeah, Jello in 9th place, and he is the last of the drivers for the AM class. So let's jump up to the front of this AM class, as it looks like it's going to be led by ETR Dan. So ETR Dan, really nice looking liveries. He comes across the start straight finish here, going into turn 1, which is known as Nord Curve. If you get offline here, you can push out into the green. That is outside of track limits. You don't want to be out there, potentially acquiring a penalty. But Dan, yeah, doing a real nice job as he downshifts going into the turn 2 there. And now they're working their way through turns 3 and 4. This is a tricky section where they're coming up to right now. This is going to be a section of the track that I expect to see a lot of passing right in here where Dan is right now. So he's making his way through there, and he's all by himself, not being pressured a whole lot from the driver behind him, who was OK Fox Jason. Now let's go through the points, because I didn't get a chance to go. Oh, we got Grumpy off the side of the track. What happened to Grumpy? Was that a disconnect? I don't know. So in the amateur class, this Fox Jason D, he is leading coming in today in the points. So look for him to fight for everything he can to maintain that points lead. Second place, AAR Oz Ram. So he is leading he's second points, down only by 3 points to the leader, Fox Jason. So then finally, ETR Dan, who's leading this race, is third in points at 147. So ETR Dan, our race leader at the moment for the AM class, is only 6 points behind the leader in this class. So he's going to try to maximize his position to climb the standings today. So we haven't even taken a look at the pro drivers yet. Let's bounce back to them and see where they are. The leading the pro driver today is RBHM GT, who is second in points currently coming into today. So here we are. They are already catching. You can see the red banner. RBHM GT catching traffic from the AM class. Bad Luck is his first victim. He's going to be looking to get by him and the other drivers in that AM class as quickly as he can, because he is being pursued by 3 other pro drivers, and they are not going to want to be fighting for position amongst these AM drivers. So let's follow this group and see how this ensues. So already coming into the final corner there, we're seeing a little, GT's decided he didn't want nothing to do with traffic. It bounces into the pits, but Karos, who is now your first place driver, followed by Shaggy, Dino, and Brand, those are your top 4 for the pro class, and GT is not going to mess with traffic. So those 4 drivers have all jumped up at least 1 position, and we are gonna ride with them. Let's take a look at it. Karos, as he's at the front here, and he's all over the back of Tank, and Bad Luck. So Bad Luck off to the right. Is he giving Karos room? We'll see as they come down into this section. This is going to be, Karos losing traction. And this is a passing section of the track right here. So this sector, I expect to see a lot of passing. And you've got to get the line right through here to get back on the gas, because it's a little bit of a short, straight shoot right through here as they come up into this braking section right here. And this is also going, this is known as Sachs. So as you're coming through Sachs, it's a bit of camber there. You can get on the gas early if you have the right line. And as you leave Sachs going into I'm not sure what corner this is, but this is another passing opportunity right here. And Karos has now decided to go into the pits, and Brand following him. But Dino and Shaggy, they want to stay out, get some more of this racing action with the M class. They're going to have to put a pass on pretty quick, though, if they want to successfully stay ahead of the drivers that just went into the pit. So let's find out how it goes for them. I don't want to stay in the pits here. Let's jump up with Dino, who has now inherited this position of first place in the pro driver class. Now Shaggy in second. Shaggy's gonna have to get on the gas there and get by Tank if he wants to stay in touch with Dino. So again, this is a big braking section, and I believe we'll see a lot of passes right through this section as well as they make their way down from turn 8. And now Dino staring into Sachs. Well, I like Sachs a lot. This is a really fun corner. When you get it right, you can use that positive camber to get back on the gas, maximize your drive. So Shaggy doing a great job. He's right there with Dino, not letting him get away. I don't see these two pitting anytime soon. They're going to want to take advantage of all this clean air and run their lap time, run their pace as quick as they can. Let's take a look back through the rest of this field. So we got Scarhand currently, who is a pro driver. Where is Scarhand? Scarhand is in 6th place, and there is a whole bunch of drivers. So Scarhand right behind Brand. We know that he's already taken a pit, so Scarhand must have pit early as well. And there's a whole host of drivers here. So these AM drivers, pro drivers mixed together. This is definitely going to benefit the 2 drivers that are out front in the pro class that have not pitted. They are going to maximize the lap times. I think that Brand and Scarhand are probably going to be slowed a little bit because there's so much traffic. But entering the track is RBHM Tank for the amateur class. And we get a nice look. Oh, somebody's went Mr. Braking Marker and gone on past the turn-in point there. And yeah, I couldn't see who it was. Looked like it was an AM driver, so we'll have to check back there in a moment. Don't want to get away from Relic as he is being hounded by Scarhand. Scarhand completes a successful clean pass, gets back on the gas, and puts Relic in his rearview mirror. So Scarhand in 6th place. He's going to be looking to try to catch up to Brand, who's in 5th. Brand following, let's see who's Brand is following. It looks like GT. So riding on with GT now. And Karos leading that pro group. So Jello under a ton of pressure from these pro drivers. Maintain your line, Jello. You'll be just fine. You got the speed. Make them go around you. So Jello and GT side by side as they cross the finish line. We are currently, I've lost my my banner here. Let me pull that up for you guys. So we are going to loop data. Again, penalties, are they in play today? I do see that they are, so penalties a factor. So ladies and gentlemen, pay close attention to the penalty time for each driver, as it will factor in at the end of the race, and we will most likely see a position change after the unofficial results are posted. they do affect the penalty time, and the official results will reflect the final positions of each driver considering those penalties. So again, Scarhan up in 5th place, GT in 3rd, Shaggy in 4th, and Brand. They're all doing really good here to keep close together, and it looks like they've cleared pretty much all of the AM class traffic, and they are clear to fight with one another. So looking forward to seeing how this plays out. We're already on lap 9 of 12. So again, if you didn't know, we got three races? 3 races, let me count, 1, 2, yes, 3 races of 12 laps each today, back to back to back. And I've lost my screen, so let's wait for that to come back, and there it is. So Jello, let's bounce back in. I really like what we're seeing shaping up here with this pro class. Only 3.5 laps to go, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers. This is exciting. 5 drivers in this pro class that are gonna be fighting for this. So Keros driving the wheels off that Mazda MX-5 to stay ahead of this group. But now Keros is gonna have his hands full, as I'm gonna jump up to him right now. He is coming up to, it looks like, traffic. So there is a host of drivers that he is going to have to deal with. He's already pitted, so he doesn't have that option. As Keros now looking at the points leader coming today for the AM class, we're just going to call him Jason for short. Schultz, who's currently in 2nd place, and this is where I think Keros is going to have to make a move going into Nord Curve. But no, I think it'll probably make us pass in turn 2. Here it is, right here, turn 2. There's a little bit of argy-bargy, nothing egregious, so does it well. And I think Schultz did not get the drive he's looking for, so he is going to see an immediate attack from Keros. And Keros now going into what I predicted as a high passing area, turn 6. And sure enough, Keros on the outside, though he's not going to get it done there, but can he cut it back up? And he does. It looks like it's a beautiful pass from Keros. Schultz not fighting against a driver in his own class, so that's not going to hurt him. Probably wise of him to let him go. And Shaggy now has to fight his way through those 2 drivers. And Keros has a clean track ahead of him with only a lap and a half to go. So he's going to come across the finish line here pretty quick, and we're going to see a white flag for Keros. But the driver that is in first is the one that we're going to take a look at. He should be in the pits, is he? He is not in the pits, and he is just running away with this. So I'm not sure how he's in first place, and we are currently, oh, I'm sorry, there is 13 laps. There is 13 laps, so let's look for him to go into the pits probably right now. And he does not go into the pits, so he is going to go into the pits probably next, well, he's going to have to go in next lap. So we are going to go back to Keros, who is in that 2nd place for the pro class, and he is still ahead of Schultz, so a lot of trouble for the 3rd place driver in the pro class, who's going to be Shaggy. And let's actually go to GT. They have not been able to get past these AM drivers, causing them all kinds of fits. And GT trying to get around the outside, but now is being attacked from Brand. Brand is going to take advantage of GT, and GT a little off the circuit in the green there, and he's lost a lot of traction. Scarhan taking advantage of that, so GT a victim of a tussle there with the AM drivers. So good racing action here. I promised you in my Twitter feed and my Facebook page that you would not be disappointed that the BOP today would bring this close together, and it certainly has not disappointed. So GT's going to try to work his way back up to Scarhan. He's done that, as Scarhan got a little offline there, giving GT a prayer. But I don't know, Brand still up ahead of them. And again, I'm seeing 1 and 2 second penalties on some of these pro drivers. So AXR, was that Scarhan? No. Yep, Scarhan. Did he have a penalty? No, Brand has a 1 second penalty. That will be a factor. So Scarhan just has to stay up behind him. And all these drivers are going to come out and see the #1 placeholder exiting the pits. He's got to be in the pits now, right? Yes, he is. He's in the pits. And so we are going to see Dino exit the pits, and drivers are already starting to come through, so he's going to lose that first place position, or is he? I think he is going to be looking good, folks, and he does exit the pits. Strategy coming into play as Dino has no penalty, and he's still in first place. His pit strategy pays off huge, and all he's got to do is drive this one home, no problemo, and he has got himself a win. But Karos, who did get balked quite a bit by traffic, is going to probably pay the price for that and be settled for a second place. However, that is nothing to be ashamed of, as he has done well to finish second and is going to do his points challenge well there. I don't want to get too far away from the last lap battle here. It's going to be Brand versus Scarhand, and going into they're going into Sachs now, so this is a really good corner. Maybe see an exit, quality exit for a setup pass going into the final corner, which is I think it's turn, I don't know, I don't remember the turn number for that one, but there's gonna have to be a pass made here, and it is. It looks like 95, Brand 95, putting the moves on Shaggy. And has Shaggy been a victim? Oh, he sure has. An excellent move. I have to give credit where credit is due. Brand has put the move on Shaggy. Shaggy hanging his head, probably a bit disappointed that he let Brand get by, but it was looked like a really clean pass. And this is the order of the finishing. So for your pro class, it's going to be Dino first, Karos, good job to him second, followed by Brand with that final pass. He's going to take a podium with that pass. Super impressive. Nice job. Followed by Shaggy, Scarhand, and GT in sixth. So bringing up the M class, ETR Dan, who was in first for pretty much that whole race, is still in first place and takes that checkered flag. So he is going to secure first place points for this race one. Great job, ETR Dan. Followed by Schultz, who just happens to be my teammate in a different series. Congratulations, Mr. Schultz, on your second place finish for this MX-5 Cup. I am hoping that we can see some continued success as well as you jump in that 911 Porsche Carrera in your Wednesday series. So keep up the good work. Followed by your points leader coming in today, which was OK Fox Jason. Fourth place, ETR Jello. Fifth place, AAR Relic. Followed by Bad Luck. And finally, FFR. I believe it's, I'm going to butcher this. Pardon me if I do, but it looks like Sukune. I don't know. You can correct me later, but RBHM Wild 8th. AAR Crispy, 9th place. We know that he suffered a bit of drama last week, and so he's probably not going to be happy about his finish today. But a lot of drivers I was not even able to get to. I apologize. We are going to try to focus more on those drivers in the second race. I want to welcome all my viewers. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for supporting. I hope you are enjoying the race in action. There was a ton of stuff to cover. I completely missed a ton of good racing action because I couldn't be everywhere at once. I'm gonna have to look into a clone and maybe do a multiple broadcast for these races, and maybe then we won't miss so much of the action. We can put it all together and make a highlight reel. I don't know, but thanks to all my viewers that are here. That is your final race one. Let's go back and take a look at the event results. So again, Dino bringing home that win for the pro class. I really think that his pit strategy was the key there, and I'm here for a quick little, gonna try to get Dino in here for a quick little synopsis of how his race went. There's Booth for his race one win. Let's see if he's able to respond. If not, we'll just have to get to him another time. But yeah, that was a very, very exciting race. For the first race, ton of action, ton of drama. I don't think anybody's disappointed. I want to take this opportunity to say to all my followers, please jump in the chat and make a comment. So if you are viewing the stream today, jump in and make a comment, ask a question. I will do my best to get to it and answer all your questions. So there you have it on the screen, folks. Look at all those AM class drivers. Impressive. 12 AM class drivers and only 7 pro drivers. So again, the pro drivers start on the grid behind the AM class drivers. I really like how that's done. It makes for a lot more excitement. So we're going to focus a little bit more on our pro class our AM class drivers in this second race. So a few people I haven't seen before, want to welcome them to the race grid. Viper the Boss and FFR Sakun, I'm going to say. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. You can correct me later. So, and then OK Fox Jason D, he's our points that we're coming into today, but my first run-in with them, so good luck to him today. And all the rest of the drivers I do have familiarization with, so trying my best not to butcher the names, as it could be difficult at times when you are in the heat of the moment. So I'm going to make sure I'm spectating, so if this race starts, it doesn't catch me out. So I think this is a really fun series. These cars have been brought together by a BOP, a balance of power. So as you can see, there's a 599, there's a 597, and I'm sorry, a 577. And I do believe there is a third PI. There's a 554 from Tank. So 3 different PIs, and that represents the previous race finishes. If you have a higher PI, that means you probably finished poorly in the previous race. If you have a lower PI, you may have, well, you probably finished on the podium. So it brings the drivers closer together and makes it a lot more fun for the viewers. So yeah, we're on a intermission at the moment. I'm a bit sad this weekend, you guys, because I'm on a 5-week break from my most favorite form of entertainment. If you did not know that already, you could probably take a look behind me. I don't think it takes a genius to figure out that I am a huge racing MotoGP fan. That is my my highest form of entertainment, and we are on 5 weeks breaks right now. I guess everybody needs a summer, even the best, fastest riders and drivers in the world, so I can't fault them for that. But anyways, in the meantime, we got virtual racing. So I hope you are enjoying the MX-5 Cup today, sponsored by RBHM, and they are doing an awesome job of promoting, setting this thing up, bringing the balance of power, and presenting results to keep everybody involved. And I love to see all these different, we got privateers, we got RBHM, we got ETR, we got AXR, we got FFR. Did I leave anybody out? I don't know. Obviously RBHM has their people here, so a lot of groups represented. And then you got your privateers. I think I mentioned AXR as well. So Viper the Boss, a privateer, and OF Brand, a privateer. Or is he? I thought he is a RBHM member, but not really sure. I'll have to get more on that later. So We are just a few minutes here till kickoff for race 2 of the 3 races that we are going to do today. I did want to point this out since we are on a break. If you didn't happen to notice, I got a beautiful piece of art up here that has been presented to me by a racing friend. That he drew that. It's a little piece of art for Laguna Seca. So I really liked it a lot, and it's signed by him. So if you didn't, I know if you're on an Xbox, it's probably a small. I'm in like a little square like this, and it's kind of hard to see me or whatever. And it's really even hard to see my artwork. So that's what that is. I want to give a shout out to my daughter since we're here. This is got her name on it, Macy Sims, class of 2024. This is a NASCAR livery that she did it for a competition in her class. Now, my daughter Macy is 14 years old, and she did this awesome livery. So I'm going to take this opportunity to say, how awesome is that? This is my daughter's livery that she's done, and she took 2nd place. So I'm pretty proud of her. I need to ready up, looks like. So there you have it, folks. There's a little bit of my artwork behind me. Proud father, proud papa, however you want to say it. But back to the racing action. We're waiting for a couple drivers here. So now, again, coming into today, the points for your pro class, you got AXR Fozzie, who is not here today. Apparently there's something going on in the UK that's of some importance. Some of the drivers weren't able to make it. But here in America, we don't know anything about that stuff. So RBHM GT, he is here today. He's 2nd place points, 146 points, who is only 6 points behind Fozzie. I expect him to surpass Fozzie today. And then AXR Eagle Eye, who is not here, he was 3rd in points at 146. So I see the 1st and 3rd place drivers probably losing those positions today. So AM class, we talked earlier, Jason, Fox Jason, he is here. Had a fairly successful race 1, and we got AAR Oz Rams, so he's not here today. Unless I missed him. I apologize if I did. I didn't think I saw him. Then ETR Dan, 3rd in points. He is here today. And he is, oh, there's Crispy. I'm sorry. Yeah, so Oz not here today on the grid. He's not here today on the grid. So ETR Dan and Jason probably going to make significant a rise in the point standings today. Waiting for a few more drivers, and then we will be off here in race 2 at the Hockenhiem short circuit. Again, 1.64 miles. I can't tell you what it is in kilometers for the European folks. For some reason, the United States feels like they have to make everything different and go with the miles, so that's all I can speak of. I don't understand kilometers and liters and all that stuff, so forgive my ignorance. I will be the first to say. But let's not let that take away from the racing action today. Let's enjoy this. So I would love to see some comments. Bring them in. Send me a message on the chat. Tell me, who do you think is going to win this 2nd race? Who do you think is going to? Who's your podium choices? We're getting started here. Well, no, we have to do another. I had to adjust the racing lobby, so should be any moment now. Yeah, tell me who you think's going to win this race. I'm going to go with a prediction. I don't normally make a prediction, but I'm going to do it. ETR Dan looking really strong. I think ETR Dan, even though he is probably going to be at the back of the grid, I think he's going to make an excellent charge through the field. Waiting on him to ready up. But I'm going to pick him for a potential back-to-back double win. And in the pro class, I'm going to go with Brand, OF Brand. He looked really strong in race 1, and he is running a 599 PI. I'm going to go with him to take the race win here at the Hockenhiem ring, short circuit for race 2. So OF Brand, the pressure's on. You've been called out as a pick to win the race. So no pressure. All right, I love it. I love it. I have a very specific message from the AAR group, one of the administrators, AAR Jordy. I've been calling him, I go back and forth, what can I say? It's that American thing. He wants to give a shout out to all of his drivers in AAR, Autism Awareness Racing. So I'm going to second that and say, let's see a strong showing, make Jordy proud. He is watching live. So the team boss watching live, folks, in that group. That's going to be a little bit more added pressure. You don't want to make the boss upset. All right, we have a launch countdown. We are getting started, race 2. Who do I want to ride with? I'm going to go with let's see, Shaggy. Let's ride with Shaggy from the AM class as my pick for the, I'm sorry, Shaggy is in the pro class, but I'm looking at Dan, who I picked to win the AM class, even though he's 12th on the grid. So again, there's going to be a delay between amateur class and pro class. So I'm going to jump on with amateur class because they are at the front. So here we go, folks. Race 2, round 3 at the Hockenhiem ring of the MX-5 Cup. And we are on board with Bad Luck in 7th place. And they are racing down to turn 1, which is Nord Curve. They're all getting through there. Looks pretty good. Oh no, damn, was that Ronan? I think it was ETR Ronan, a 360 spin. I don't know if he was helped or if that was induced by someone else. I couldn't really tell, but he was. Oh no, now we have Viper, and Dan has been caught up. Yes, Dan has been caught up. Let's bounce to the front of this, and let's ride with FFR. I'm gonna just call him Susine because it's gonna make it easier on me. And Crispy in 2nd place, followed by Schultz in 5th. Schultz looking to make a move on Wild, but tucks it back in behind Wild as they go. Right now they're going through Sachs, and they are coming out of the last final sector here, going to be turning onto the start straight finish. And it looks like Tank is going to be the one leading the race here as they come through. So RBHM Tank, but is he being attacked up the inside? It looks like an AAR driver. Was that Crispy? And he looks up the inside, but not able to. Oh, but Crispy gets sideways, loses traction, and the FFR driver taking advantage of that. And now Crispy has the hard work to do all over again as Jason in 4th place here for the AM class, trying to catch up with this front 3. So we got the top 3 in the AM class fighting for the position on lap 2, and it looks like that Tank is guarding that inside. I don't think he wanted anybody to stick it up the inside on a full send. So, but it has happened. There it is. FFR Susine has run up the inside of Tank. Tank probably didn't guard that inside long enough, or maybe he compromised his exit, hard to say. But now he's got the AAR driver as Crispy all over the back, and Susine looks like he's already making a break. Pulled out about 2 or 3 tenths on the FFR driver. I'm sorry, on Tank. So this will be interesting to see how this plays out as Tank is like, I've had enough of it already. Lap 2 goes in the pits. So Crispy, he's going to stay out. He doesn't want to pit yet. He wants to get his rhythm going. He knows he doesn't have a lot of traffic to deal with in front of him, so he's going to stay out. And we're going to jump back with the end of the AM class drivers, which is, well, let's go with Schultz in 10th. He's probably going to see some pro drivers approaching him. Well, he's in the pits as well. So let's jump up to Scarhan, who is currently in first place, and he is side by side. Is that GT? Yes, it is. It's GT. They are side by side going into a major passing zone right here down in turn 6. And it looks like Tank is right there. An AM driver, RBHM Tank, right in front of these two. It's going to cause a little bit of a disturbance on an overtaking maneuver, and Shaggy in third place, in that pro driver right there, ready to strike if the opportunity is given to him. And GT right behind Scarhan, taking a really good look at his graphics on the rear bumper. And Scarhan moving up the inside of Tank. Is he gonna make that complete? They're side by side. Yes, he does. Nicely done. Tank into the pits. And Scarhan now free to run his line with no traffic in front of him. So Scarhan, a #1 position for this pro class, but he's got 3 drivers battling for that second place position right behind him, as GT has priority at the moment, as Shaggy and Dino are currently all fighting for that second place. So I don't see my predicted race winner, which was Brand. I do see Grumpy, AAR Grumpy, at the back of this group. I think it may have been a 4th place for Grumpy. Let me take a look. It was a 5th place for Grumpy. And there's Brand in 7th. And he is side by side with, was that Jello, an AM driver? Yes, it was. And Schultz behind him. So now we got Karos. Here we go, folks. This is getting nice and good. We got Brand and Karos. Drivers know each other well. Brand was a former AAR driver at one time. And they do know each other well on the track. So I do believe this will be a very interesting battle. Not to stir up drama, but how can you not? These races are full of all kinds of opportunity and things to talk about. So I love to see how Karos is defending Brand here. But what's Brand going to do, as I know he wants to get by Karos as soon as he possibly can and put some distance. But I don't know if he's got the car underneath him. We know that, oh, look at this. We got an AM driver, which is Tank. Gave up that inside line. Wisely moves off the side, but Karos, oh, Karos. We wanted so much out of this battle, but it looks like he went wide right there. I don't know why, but Brand is getting away. So Brand, we know he's got a little bit higher of a PI, so he does have the car underneath him to run the pace. So now we got Jello in 7th place in that AM class. So I really gotta say, it's quite exciting to see. You gotta think about this, folks. You got the 2 different classes, the AM class, the pro class, and then you have different PIs based on balance of power within those classes. So there's all kinds of racing moving parts here. There's all kinds of factors to think about. And then on top of that, if you're not trying to kill the commentator, this might just do him in. I gotta think about penalty time. So, here we got Viper the boss with the second penalty. Where are we at the front? It looks like Scarhan still taking the front point here for the M class, but he's got, is it GT? It is GT in second. I don't see any penalty time for these drivers. They're coming up to a section here in turn 6, which is a huge passing area, but you can get a lot of penalty if you take the inside too much. But Scarhan, look at him go. Oh, there's a driver off. He's rejoining. Looks like it's Jason, but not compromising the line of Scarhan there. So I don't see any penalty for the top 3 drivers. So again, GT second, Dino third. No penalty time that I can tell. I'm going to run the banner on penalty time. Just so the viewers can see for themselves if I happen to miss it. So Scarhan's in the pits. GT's going to inherit that first place spot. But let's go to the AM drivers. And first place is the FFR driver, still holding it down, and he's gone into the pits. So let's see where ETR Dan was. We know that he had an incident early doors of this race, and has had a lot of work to do to make up that time, but he's currently in third. I'm thinking he's pitted. I don't know for sure. I can check by pulling up his fuel burn. and his fuel burn is 93, so he has pitted, and he's going to see traffic exiting right here, the pits. There it is, FFR driver trying to hold on to a second place position, but Dan hot on his trail, and Crispy not far behind. So that first place AM driver is going to be Fox Jason. He has not pitted yet. So as promised, I'm trying to keep a close eye here on these AM drivers and give them a little bit more coverage than they had in race 1. Again, a lot of drivers on the grid here. I think there's around 20 today. So action all over the track, and then on top of that, we got Hockenhiem short, which, you know, when you're talking pits and whatnot, it's a potential lap driver. So look at this, Dan making his way up. So FFR driver now with tires on up to temperature underneath him, and probably has the ability to run that car at full speed. But ETR Dan running really smooth as he takes a little bit of a short line, probably gets a little bit of a slide in the rear there. That probably slowed him down. But look at this, look at these liveries. I really like the liveries here. ETR Dan, he's got a bit of a colorful livery there. And the FFR driver with a pretty standard but very cool looking livery himself. But Dan is now going to attack. This is the passing section I've talked about for the last race and a half. Dan is not going to fire up the inside because FFR Susin has definitely guarded that inside line. So where is Dan going to pass? I know he wants to attack soon. Come on, Dan, let's see what you got. I know you have it in you. You definitely have the pace. You've already taken a race win. And this is shaping up to be quite a chess match here. And look at this. We got Scarhand creeping up on these two. And they better put it in gear or they're going to have a pro driver breaking this group up. So Dan still not able to put the moves on him. So we're going to come back to this battle a little bit later. Schultz in 7th place in the AM class. He is behind Jello, not able to put any pressure on Jello yet. So we are going to jump up to our first place pro drivers. Now it is RBHM GT, followed by Dino. Dino, again, our race 1 winner. Not able to get an interview with him. But Grumpy in 3rd, our AAR driver. And nothing sized up here at the moment as far as a battle. So let's take a look further back. And Brand, who I predicted as a race winner, is now trying to go the wrong way around Relic. And is he in the wall? He is. I had to sit back in my seat there trying to hope that he was going to miss it, but he came in contact with that concrete wall. There's nothing good going to come out of that. So hopefully he is, well, now he's got that driver behind him, and he is going to try to put his head down and catch. I think it's Crispy in front of him, which it is. Crispy, an AM driver, but very fast. I got to give props to Crispy, an AAR driver who has really come into his own in the last few months. I really wish I had a bio on any of these drivers. I don't. I would love to talk about them. But look at this. We got Grumpy entering the track, a pro driver, right in the middle of a heated race battle between the AM drivers. So this is getting good. We got ETR Ronan, and he's going to move over to the side and wisely let some of these drivers by. He's a lap traffic. Good on him for doing that, as Brand now up all over the back of Crispy. Crispy gets in too hot and overcooks the corner and allows Brand to come right on through without any resistance. And Grumpy wants to do the same, as he is all over the back of Crispy now. Brand's got to put his head down if he wants to catch these drivers in front of him. I predicted Brand, who's currently in 4th, I predicted him for a race win today. That is not so far panning out, but look at this. Scarhand creeping up on him. Scarhand creeping up on ETR Dan and the other AM driver. Is this going to create any drama? As I've lost my screen and I've lost a driver. What happened? I don't know what happened to the other driver. The screen went black, and now we only have 2 drivers on course. So we'll have to see if we can figure that one out later. So nothing excites up again. These two drivers are different classes. So where is Karos? He's in 5th place. He is not currently in a battle with anyone in his class, but he does have a team driver right next to him. I would assume that the team driver is probably going to move over for him. Oh, but he doesn't move over. I was wrong. He actually, I think he goofed up his racing line and locked his brakes up, and it caused a coming together between these two AAR drivers. So, folks, I don't know if that was a commentator's curse or what, but I predicted a gentleman gesture, and instead we had a coming together. So, good stuff here as Karos all over the back of the other team driver, known as the AR Relic. Karos, no penalty time, and I don't see Karos having any threats immediately behind him because the next driver is, well, there is no next driver. He's the 5th and last place. So, looking back at some of these AM drivers, let's take a look at Wild. RBHM Wild, where are you? You are currently in 10th place driving by yourself, and GT, the pro driver, is in the pits. So I expect when he exits, there will be traffic to deal with, probably behind him, but we'll see. So running Wild is RBHM Wild all by himself. So Bad Luck is currently in a place of 9th position as he is trying to chase down Tank. So Bad Luck, a privateer, and I have to say, I just noticed this, RBHM Tank, an American driver. So I apologize that I didn't point that out earlier. Most of these drivers are the European UK drivers, but it is nice to see a US driver in this race. So 2 AM drivers going at it for 8th place. They will continue that fight. We're going to take a look back at them as Fox Jason leading the points coming into today. Now in a 7th place position, trying to make his way up. So Viper the Boss, we haven't talked a lot about him today. He is currently in 6th position, and I don't see any drivers around him. So we're going to come back to him. Schultz and Jello, these two drivers have been battling not only in the MX-5 Cup, but also in the 911 Carrera Cup. So they battle on track here in the AM class. They battle on track in the Porsches. These two drivers know each other well. Is Schultz going to be able to run down Jello? I know through personal interview, he said before that Jello, very consistent and not easy to pass. And I would agree with him. But it looks to me like he's not making a lot of progress. If it is, it's a couple hundredths at best. So we're going to come back to these two as that was the checkered flag. So we just took a checkered flag and I failed to do a rundown. So first place, look at that, ETR Dan taking the checkered flag for the AM class. As I predicted, I finally got something right. He came through the field and executed a beautiful win. I'm going to get him in here for a interview if he is able to. I would love to hear what he has to say after a back-to-back win. And taking home the win for the pro class is AXR Scarhand with his typical purple livery. Hard to miss AXR Scarhand, but an excellent job this race bringing home the win. And a 2nd place finisher is going to be GT, followed by Brand, who I predicted a race winner. He did finish on the podium, so he did a solid there. Didn't make me look bad. And then 4th place, Shaggy, 5th, Karos. And that's going to do it for your pro class drivers. That tells me that we did drop a driver from the pro class at some point. So I've been guilty of it before. Take me to jail again. Again, guilty. I lost track of the lap count because I got too excited. So I did hire an assistant, but they can't start for another 6 months. So I'm going to be on my own for a while. So we are back in the lobby. Let's take a look at the previous. Actually, before I do that, I want to see if I can get Mr. ETR Dan in here with a quick interview. I really got to give him props, but with that in mind, we'll wait for him. And again, Scarhand taking home that win for Pro Class. And Dan, as we await his arrival, if he's able to make it, taking home that win for the AM class. So you got a 110.2 first place, your time for that first place driver in the AM class. Only about 8/10 slower than the fastest lap of that pro driver, which is AXR Scarhand, at a 109.449. So that was the fastest lap. So Scarhand taking home that fastest lap. That, I gotta say, that's pretty quick. 109.4 clean. Nobody even coming close to him. And then you got Dan with the 110.2, although that was dirty. And your quickest lap is gonna come in from, is that Crispy? With a 111.6. No, there's a 111.0 clean from the Viper. That will be your fastest lap for the pro class. So I know Dan's busy. He might be even setting up the lobby. I'm not sure who has this lobby, but let's take a look. So yeah, Wild's got the lobby. So let's see if we can get Dan in here. Still waiting for any of my viewers to throw out a chat. Anything in the chat would be much appreciated. I want to interact with you guys as much as I can. I'm going to wait another moment here, see if Dan comes up. If not, I'm going to grab myself a refreshment. So it looks like he's not going to be able to make it. I will be right back. Do not go anywhere. We have final race coming up shortly, race 3 for the day, and it's going to be a good one, folks. I think it's a random grid if I remember right. But I'm going to grab a quick drink. I'll be right back. All right, we are back, and it looks like most of our drivers are checked up. So 2 failed attempts for an interview today, and I can understand why. There's a lot going on with the drivers. They have the very short intermission and a few things that need to take care of. So take this time to welcome my viewers that are in the room. And I did get a message that I've been asking for, and unfortunately we have some connection issues today. So that explains, I did make a comment that one of the pro drivers dropped, and it was Dyno, RBHM Dyno. Unfortunately, he had a dropped connection while he was racing, which is a big bummer because he was really doing well. So sorry to see that. Is he in here? Let's take a quick look and see if he was able to get in here. And yeah, he's not in here. So what a bummer. Well, I'm sorry to see that. But you know, sometimes that does happen. So Dyno, please stay with us on the stream to follow all the action. And we're gonna miss you out on track. So 19 drivers. We started with 20, had an unfortunate disconnect, and we're at 19 now. So I'm not going to make any predictions because I was 1 for 2 last race. I did call for ETR Dan to make a race win, and he did. But my other prediction in the pro class did not turn out quite the same. But sometimes, you know, when you make a prediction, you're right, and sometimes you're wrong. So what do you do? So yeah, I'm not going to do any predictions for this third race because, well, it's a random grid, I believe, and it's currently being changed because it looks like it's being manipulated at the moment. So we're going to wait just another minute or so before that's complete. So we talked a little bit about the track earlier. This Hockenhiem ring short circuit, 1.64 miles. Again, so as you go into the first corner, there's a ton of runoff room. You can really run it wide there, but if you do, you're off the circuit. You are actually off track limits. There's a green section there, so if you go out into the green, it's considered out of bounds. You can incur a penalty. You want to stay away from all that. You want to just keep at least one wheel up on the rumble strips there. And then as you exit there, you're going to make a short shoot down into the turn 2. And you make turn 2 is it's a second gear corner almost surely with most of these cars, most of these drivers. You're going to want to get a very good exit through turn 2 as you make your way all the way down that straight going into turn 6. And then once you get through turn 6, it's kind of a tricky. That's where we saw one of our drivers, I believe it was Brandy. He hit that concrete wall, and it slowed him down a little bit. So if you don't get that exit and that turning point right, you may hit that wall, and that's going to affect your lap time, and that could cause you to lose a spot or two. So you want to try to avoid that as you come down into Mobile. But Mobile is turn 8. But one of my favorite corners driving the track and also spectating is I think it's turn 9 on the short circuit, which is Sachs. And that's that positive camber. It's almost like a carousel. You get the car in there nice and tight, hold that tight line, you get on that gas early because it's got that positive camber, and you shoot yourself out into those S's. And that's a lot of fun through there. So I haven't tried it in one of these Mazdas, but I'm sure it's a great time. So. And then Sud Curve, SUDKURV, that's your final corner. before you see the checkered flag. So now we are going to see the green flag as the launch countdown is in effect. Who am I going to launch? Who am I going to jump on with today? And I don't have the opportunity to pick a driver, so let's see who it is. I'm going to try to jump in with the AM class drivers since they are going first. And we are off, and I am with ETR Dan in 7th place. So let's jump on with ETR Dan on board. We haven't done that a whole lot yet. Not in the view I'm looking for. There it is. Okay, look at this. FFR making a hard move, charge up the middle, or up the inside, able to get by Fox, Jason, a couple other drivers suffering some contact, and Dan now in 3rd place, doing a really nice job there. So he is following Tank and Crispy. So Crispy, that's the first time he's seen the front of the race today, so he is going to fight tooth and nail. Dan making a move, look up the inside of Tank. Tank a little squirrely on that entry, but getting his exit cleaned up. Here's that turn Sachs I was telling you about. You can throw it in there with that positive camera, get on that gas. Crispy nailing it. AAR Crispy nails that corner into these S's, but then Tank kind of taking a really tight line through there, not giving Dan a chance to, oh, Dan's gonna go to the pits. No, he's not. He's gonna try to bring it back into the apex, kissing the apex, and he's gonna get Tank on the exit. So he gets the drive. Tank relegated position, and I've just lost my screen. What has happened? Oh no. And it has come back to me, and it looks like Tank has now suffered another position loss because FFR Susine has taken that 3rd position. So Crispy, look at him go. He got a colorful livery there up front, hard to miss him. Your South African driver. And oh, he's in there a little hot going into that 2nd apex, but he is able to bring it back. But Dan executing a really nice line through there, but now he's not able to get on the gas as soon as he wanted to. I'm going on board, kids. Let's see how this goes from an onboard view. Mono-y-mono, these two going as Dan's looking up the inside. He can't get on the gas though because Crispy's there and they make contact. Dan gives the position back to him, lifts just slightly. One of these drivers going to the pits, I can almost guarantee you right now. Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be Crispy. Crispy has gone into the pits. So we are going to return to the replay camera and ETR Dan taking command. So let's jump back to our pro drivers. Who's in front there? It's going to be, let's see here. Brand is in the front of the pro drivers. And he is coming up right behind Jello there. So GT in 2nd place for the pro drivers. Karos in 3rd. Followed by Shaggy, Grumpy, and Scarhand. So I'm going to stay right here because I think this is going to shape up to be some pretty intriguing passing opportunities here. As Brand getting through that section there without any contact with the wall, getting back on the grass. And this is where we're going to see going into Sachs. Brand's going to make a move. He's up on the inside. There it is. Jello moving off to the outside there to let him through. But I don't know if he's going to want to do that with GT. Looks like he's giving GT a little bit of a fight because GT's trying to take the long way around. And Jello holding that inside line. And Brand is not going to be able to get, no, Brand is in the pits, but GT not able to get in the pits. Now GT's gonna have to put the pedal to the metal here to try to maximize his lap time so that him and Brand don't have they're not too close together when they're coming out of the pits for the final. So let's jump up there. Shaggy in 2nd place. We haven't seen him a whole lot today, but now he's in 2nd place for the pro drivers. And Jello under constant attack. He's probably heartbeat racing at 100 miles an hour as he's got constant AM drivers behind him to deal with. So Shaggy and Jello know each other well from another series as well. And AAR Grumpy, 3rd place for that pro driver. Shaggy able to get around Jello there. I think Jello gave him the gentleman move over there. So first place GT, I think he's probably going to go in the pits. Right here, it's a guess. We'll see if I'm right. GT does not go in the pits. So his pit strategy is something other than what I thought it may be. Being that GT did not go in the pits, I'm going to guess that he believes that his pace is good enough to stay in front of the driver that had already pitted. So again, that's where a lot of this pit strategy comes into play, folks. You can learn a lot about a driver and his confidence based on his pit strategy. As we see Shaggy getting a little out of sorts there, but doing a great job. Okay, back looking at the action here. Who's at the front? It's going to be GT still bringing home that first place position for the pro drivers, but in the AM class, all by himself, FFR Susine. I gotta get this right. I'm just crushing this guy's name, the poor guy. You know, I think we've all figured out that I'm not good at math, nor am I good at pronunciation of the English language. If that's even an English word. I can't even be sure, honestly. So, Fox Jason and ETR Dan, 3rd and 4th for the AM class. And Dan exiting the pits. And there is nobody around Dan, so he's going to have all the room he needs to get his groove with no obstructions, no pressure from front or the back. So I really want to see where Crispy is. AAR Crispy. He's in 5th place. And I'm going to pull up the track map here. I don't normally like to do that, but I'm not having any luck on finding the battles here. A lot of interaction between pro and AM drivers. We got one. Who's the second? Who's moving over? Somebody's moving over. And it's bad luck has been moving over for some of the faster drivers. But, oh, here it is. We got a really nice looking battle for 9 and 10. So I'm going to have to use the track map here. AM class drivers, 9 and 10. Jello versus Schultz. No, that's Wild. So I don't see Schultz. We've lost a driver from the AM class. So sorry to see a driver lost. So yeah, these two are going at it, looking great. Jello in 10th, trying to capture that 9th place position from Wild. I really like Wild's paint livery there. And as these two challenge each other, are they bringing themselves closer to the two in front of them of Relic and Jason? So I don't know if this is going to help them or not, but it looks to me like they're gaining on them. So pushing each other here back in 9th and 10th, bringing in some ground to the 7th and 8th drivers. So Rogue Energy clearly displayed there on Wild's paint livery, one of the sponsors of the series. Oh no, what has happened as we see Jello get into the corner panel of Wild, but it looks like he was able to release just in time, and there was just a slight break of traction there. Neither one of the drivers suffering too much, but glad that we didn't see anyone spun there. So look at this, Scarhand, our race 2 winner, in the background there behind Jello and Wild. Is Scarhand going to catch these two in a bad part of the track? Because as they come through Nord Curve and head their way down to turn 2, This is where a lot of time is made up for some of the faster drivers. You got to get this exit perfect. And I think Scarhan's going to catch this group within a half a lap. He's looking really quick. Already won the race in race 2, but these two are still just going at it, studying each other very closely. And this is where Jello's probably thinking he's going to make a move on Wild as Scarhan creeps up to the back. Scarhan's going to be all over the tailpipe by the time they get to the final corner at Sud Curve. Oh, as they go into Sachs. So you got Wild in the front here, but Scarhan sees two cars in the M class just in front of him. He's going to make a move on Jello. There it is. Oh, it's not quite able to put it together. So Scarhan looks back around the outside, and looks like Jello holding that inside line. He's going to do it again as Scarhan clearly takes a wider line to try to get on that gas as soon as he can. As it's successful, and yes it is, Scarhan side by side as he runs down, his strategy working brilliantly, but no, Wild has lost the position. How has this happened? Scarhan right in the middle of an AM-class battle, and now he's got the inside line going into turn 2, and he is going to get away as Jello and Wild are door to door in an intense battle and are on our 9th and 10th lap here of 13. So only about 3 laps or so left, and this is an excellent battle for 8th place. I know there's other battles going on, folks. I know they're out there, but right now I'm just totally focused on these two warriors going at it. Okay, so I just got a message from Viper, very sorry to hear that he has been dropped. And Dino was dropped as well, so I don't want to take away from the racing. I do have a comment to make that's not race related. I'm going to have to hold on to it till a more opportune moment as Wild is now starting to lose touch. He's now starting to lose touch, so we only have about 2.5 laps to go. And Jello's starting to make a break as Jason's up ahead. I don't think he's going to catch Jason, but Tank is in front of Jason. And this is a pretty good battle. So you got Relic in 5th, pressured highly by Tank as Scarhan now finds himself. He knows he wants to get around this group because he's going to have pro drivers exiting the pits. He doesn't want to be boxed any more than he already has. And one driver, Ronan, moving off to the side. And look at this, Scarhan gets into the quarter panel of Tank. Scarhan just shaking his head saying, I gotta get around this traffic so I don't lose any more time on track. I think when Scarhan comes around the turn 1 here, as he goes through Sud Curve, he's gonna find at least 1 or maybe 2 drivers from the pro class exiting the pits. We'll see. And it's gonna get saucy here with just a lap and a half to go. Looks like Scarhan not seeing anyone exiting the pits. So what's happening up front as Karos and Brander are in 4th and 5th. I gotta see who's leading this thing. GT's leading this thing. So GT, a monster lead for GT. Has he pitted? Is he capable of building such a massive lead? We've got Grumpy in 2nd. He's in the pits. So I think that's probably going to relegate him back a spot or 2 when he exits. So you got Brand and Karos now coming around final corner here. Coming through Sud Curve, and they're going to run their way down to Nord Curve. I don't know. Yeah, Brand is he's in 3rd. So he's quite a bit ahead of Karos. Not much of a battle there, but Karos has a driver behind him pressuring him, and that's going to be RBHM Shaggy as Grumpy exiting the pits right in the midst of these two battling. This is going to be interesting as Grumpy gets a little wide coming through there, and now Karos gets oh, there's a little car. Yep, this is not looking good, folks. Shaggy and Karos are going to lose multiple spots because they're being gentlemen now, waiting for each other. So I get it. You don't want to take advantage of someone, but now look at this. Scarhand, a benefiter. Again, I should have never dropped out of school, folks. But yeah, Scarhand now able to capitalize, but he hasn't got by Karras, but you know he's going to attack on the last lap. So GT in the pits now. And this is your final lap. Brand is battling for the win with the FFR driver. I've just been told by some kind of police officer of Twitch that I'm violating race, ethnicity, or religion. I don't really know. These social justice warriors are just, they're always out to get me. So I can't please everybody. So I don't know what to tell you, Twitch. I'm doing the best I can. If you don't like it, then I'm sorry. But I just want to watch the race. So GT second place. And Brand looks like he's going to take this win, folks, as he's come around this final corner. I'm sorry I took anything away from you, but you're going to see the checkered flag for the pro class. Congratulations, OF Brand 95, as he's taken the win. And second place for that pro class is going to be GT, followed by Grumpy. Nice job, Grumpy. And he's going to see himself on the podium doing AAR, an excellent job there. And then Grumpy is going to be followed by Karras and Scarhand fifth, Shaggy in sixth. So look at this. ETR Dan showing his dominance today. And I mean dominance by a triple win because he won all three races in the AM class. So AM class second place finisher, you got the FFR driver, who I'm afraid to say his name again. Maybe that's why I'm being hounded by Twitch. I don't know, but I'll research that a little bit later. The third place, Crispy, AAR Crispy, bringing up the last on the podium there. So there's your podium finishers for the AM class, followed by Bad Luck, Fox Jason, RBHM Tank, and ETR Jello. AAR Relic 8th, RBHM Wild 9th, and ETR Ronin in 10th, and that is going to be it, folks. I usually go for a lap on board with my race leader, but didn't do that today. So yeah, it's a real shame for Dino and Viper today with the disconnects. So typically we see the points released within a day or a couple days of the race. So I don't know about you guys, folks, but today we had 3 excellent races. 1 and 2 really packed with a lot of action. If I was to be honest, race 3 didn't have as much racing action, but a lot of it could have been me being distracted. So not taking anything away from the racing action overall, but I have to say, a really nice job. We did see a couple incidents here and there, but you know what? That's racing. That happens. And it's to be expected, but all these drivers very accomplished. RBHM GT making his way out of here in a hurry. So I'm going to give it one more try with Mr. ETR Dan for an interview. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. Sorry about that. I sent him a game invite, which is not what I wanted. I wanted to do in chat invite. But we'll see. So yeah, I mean, all the drivers doing a great job today. They really battled hard. They had, like I said, multiple factors in the race. And let's look at the final race statistics. Fastest lap is going to, let's see, we got a 109.7. And that is not the fastest lap. A 109.6 from Scarhand, who finished last in his class, but set the fastest lap time. Your race winner had the second fastest lap time of 109.773 with 3 penalties. So interesting enough, Brand able to win the race even though he had a 1.5 second penalty against him. So Scarhan had 2 second penalty. ETR Dan had 3.5 seconds penalty, but he was able to secure a win for his class, and he came home with a 109.6. So a 109.6 is literally matching the fastest lap for the pro drivers. So ETR Dan, excellent job in your fast, not only your race win, but fast lap. No one even close to you. The next closest lap would have been a 110, it looks like. Let's just scroll down to make sure. And yeah, so Dan, I don't know what he's doing in the AM class, but I think we might see a change once Race Direction takes a look at his pace. 3 wins in a row, fastest lap, just smoking the field in the AM class. So that's it today, folks. That is your 3 races for the MX-5 Cup. I hope you enjoyed the racing action, and if you did, I would love to see your support. Let me know, send me a message, and support the stream. Just go down to the bottom and you can click donate, and we're gonna bring you better content, better equipment, and better coverage, everything we can do as we grow. So thank you for being a live viewer today. Thank you for racing today. Thank you to all the drivers. Thank you, a huge thank you to RBHM for hosting, and Rogue Energy Drink for being a sponsor. We look forward to more sponsors coming on board. But that's it today, folks. And congratulations. Look for the points that will be released on the page, the Discord page soon enough. And with that said, this is Speed Curves out, and we appreciate you showing up today. I'm going to do one last check of my messages, make sure I didn't miss anything, and it looks like we're good. All right, thanks to all who came out today. We will talk to you soon. This is Speed Curves out.